All right, we're going to tackle one of the biggest, most mind-bending questions in all of science. What is consciousness? And we're going to explore a really wild theory that says the answer might not be in the world of bits and bytes, but, well, deep down in the strange and wonderful world of quantum mechanics.
So let's start with a puzzle that happens in operating rooms every single day. General anesthesia. I mean, think about it. You breathe in a simple gas, and poof, your entire experience of the world, your awareness, just switches off. And then it switches back on. How on earth can a simple gas do that?
And what's so amazing is the precision. Anesthetics don't just, shut the whole brain down. As you can see, all these vital automatic functions, your breathing, your heart rate, they just keep on chugging. Your brain is still humming along with all sorts of activity. The anesthetic is like a key for a very, very specific lock, a lock that only controls one thing, consciousness. So you find that lock, and you might just find consciousness itself. So that's the clue. And scientists started following the breadcrumbs, looking for that exact lock. The search took them from looking at the brain as a whole, down, way, way down into the individual brain cells, the neurons, trying to pinpoint exactly where these anesthetic gases were doing their work.
Now, for decades, everyone thought the answer had to be on the outside of the neurons, on their membranes, or in the tiny gaps between them, called synapses. And that makes total sense, right? That's where all the communication happens. But here's the thing. Experiment after experiment, they just came up empty. The evidence wasn't there. It forced researchers to look somewhere else, somewhere deeper.
And that's when they started looking inside the neuron, at these amazing little structures called microtubules. You can kind of think of them as the neuron skeleton or its internal scaffolding. They're made of this protein called tubulin, and they're basically the organizers for everything happening inside the cell. Could the switch for our consciousness actually be hidden in there? Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. We're about to take a leap into the quantum realm. There's this radical theory from Sir Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff, and it suggests that consciousness isn't calculated. It's not like a computer. Instead, it just emerges from quantum vibrations inside these microtubules. It's like there's a tiny orchestra inside every neuron playing the music of awareness. They call it the ORCH OR theory. So let's break that down. The ORCH part is for orchestrated. These aren't just random jitters. They're coordinated, orchestrated quantum events. Then there's the OR, which stands for objective reduction. Now that's the really mind-bending part from physicist Roger Penrose. It's his idea for how the fuzzy quantum world of infinite possibilities actually collapses and chooses one to become our solid, definite reality. And get this, in their theory, that very moment of collapse is a moment of consciousness. So how does this work, moment to moment? Well, it starts with the electron clouds inside those tubulin proteins. They start to vibrate. Then these vibrations enter what's called a quantum superposition, which basically means they're in multiple possible states at the exact same time. It's like a vibrating guitar string that's playing multiple notes at once. And then that superposition collapses and bang, a single clear conscious moment is born. It suggests consciousness isn't some smooth, continuous river. It's more like a super fast series of individual quantum snapshots.
Okay, I know, this all sounds a little like science fiction. And it raises the biggest question of all, how in the world could you possibly test this? Well, believe it or not, we go right back to where we started, to our anesthesia mystery. Because if consciousness really is a quantum vibration, if it's music, then anesthetics must work by simply silencing that music. So, researchers built these incredibly complex computer models to simulate the quantum vibrations in microtubules. And they found something absolutely astonishing. A specific, really strong vibration frequency, like the main note in the chord, popped up right at 613 terahertz. Now, just to put that in perspective, that's a frequency vibrating hundreds of trillions of times every second. This super specific number, this became the signature they could hunt for. And this chart here, this pretty much tells the whole story. When they ran the simulation and added anesthetic gases into the mix, that key 613 terahertz vibration got seriously dampened, almost silenced. But, and this is the crucial part, when they added other gases that are similar but don't cause anesthesia, nothing happened. The vibration was totally unaffected. The effect was specific only to the anesthetics.
But here's the real clincher. It wasn't just an on or off thing. The amount of silencing, it was directly proportional to how powerful the anesthetic is in a real hospital. The stronger the drug is in the operating room, the more it shut down that quantum vibration in the computer model. That's a powerful, powerful link between this wild quantum theory and what doctors see every day.
And what's really cool is that the guys who came up with this theory, they aren't hiding from this. They're basically saying, hey, here's how you can prove us wrong. If we can't find these quantum vibrations in actual real-life microtubules, or if we find them but anesthetics don't affect them, then the theory is toast. And that willingness to be proven wrong, that's the mark of really good science. So, if this theory keeps holding up, it just completely reimagines what the brain is. It's not just some squishy biological computer. No, it's something way more elegant, way more mysterious, something operating right on the edge of quantum reality itself. And that really brings us to the central idea, this beautiful metaphor. The old view of the brain as a classical computer just crunching numbers gives way to this new image of a quantum orchestra, creating this rich, complex, resonant symphony that we all experience as being, well, as being us. And if it's true, the implications are just enormous. The people behind ORCH OR think it might not just explain consciousness, it could give us new ways to think about some of the deepest mysteries there are. Things like free will, why time feels the way it does, even the origin of life. It's an incredibly ambitious, far-reaching idea. Which leaves us with one final, kind of awe-inspiring question to ponder. This whole idea reframes our existence. It suggests that each of us, right now, is a symphony of quantum vibrations, a unique song unfolding moment by moment. So it really makes you wonder, if the brain is an orchestra, what magnificent, mysterious music is it playing?